Okay, let's talk about that really stubborn belly fat. You know the kind, the stuff that just refuses to go away no matter what you do? It's so frustrating, right? Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty specific method that targets the real enemy, and it's probably one you don't even know you're fighting.
I mean, you've probably been there. You're doing all the right things. The crunches, the salads, the endless running. You feel like you're putting in all this work, but that little pouch around your middle just sits there. It feels impossible. So what on earth is going on?
Well, here's the thing. The reason it feels like nothing is working is because most of us are aiming at completely the wrong target. See, the fat you can actually see and pinch, that isn't the real problem. The true danger is hidden deep inside, and it takes a totally different strategy to defeat it.
And this is the critical difference right here. You've got two types of belly fat. On one hand, there's subcutaneous fat. That's the jiggly stuff right under your skin that you can pinch. And honestly, it's mostly just a cosmetic issue. But then, there's visceral fat. You can't see it, you can't pinch it, because it's packed deep inside, literally wrapping itself around your vital organs. That is the enemy we need to focus on.
So let's get to know this hidden enemy a little better. Some sources call it a parasite. And when you find out what it actually does inside your body, you'll understand why. This stuff is not just sitting there. It's an active threat to your health. So here's the main point. Visceral fat isn't just a passive blob of energy storage. It's biologically active. Think of it less like a spare tire and more like a rogue gland that's set up shop inside your abdomen, just causing absolute chaos by wrapping itself around your heart, your liver, your pancreas, all the important stuff. And this is what that chaos looks like. This rogue tissue is constantly spewing out inflammatory chemicals into your system. It's messing with your hormones, driving your body toward insulin resistance, which is a fast track to type 2 diabetes, and it's literally strangling your vital organs. It's a pretty nasty piece of work. So the million-dollar question is, how do you know if you have this dangerous hidden fat? Because here's the scary part, you can be thin everywhere else and still have a lot of it. Luckily, there's a really simple test you can do right now to get a pretty good idea.
It's called the poke test. Here's what you do. First, stand up and let your stomach muscles completely relax. No sucking it in. Now press your fingers into your belly. If it feels soft and squishy and you can easily grab a handful, that's mostly that harmless subcutaneous fat. But if your belly sticks out and feels kind of hard and firm when you press in, that's the telltale sign of visceral fat pushing out from the inside.
Okay, so that was the bad news. But here's the really good news. While visceral fat is the most dangerous kind, it's also the easiest to get rid of if you know the secret code. And that brings us to a specific 3-part protocol that's based on some really interesting findings. You see, the secret is to stop focusing only on calories in, calories out. The real root cause of visceral fat building up is something called oxidative stress. And a great way to think about this is like cellular rust. You know, just like an engine that runs too hot for too long starts to rust and break down, our cells get damaged, and visceral fat loves to grow in that rusty, inflamed environment.
So step 1 in our plan is pretty straightforward. We have to get rid of that cellular rust, and the best way to do that is with what we put on our plates.
The most powerful rust removers that exist in nature are these compounds called carotenoids, and it's actually really simple. These are just the natural pigments that give fruits and vegetables their amazing, vibrant colors. Think about the deep orange of a sweet potato or the rich red of a bell pepper. These are your body's defense against that cellular rust.
So here's your mission. Think of it like a scavenger hunt for color at the grocery store. You want to load up on all the bright oranges, reds, and greens you can find. A Japanese study actually showed that just adding more foods rich in carotenoids like carrots and cabbage significantly reduced visceral fat. A good rule of thumb? If a food is beige, bread, pasta, crackers, it's probably feeding the problem. If it's vibrant and colorful, it's fighting it.
All right, so we're cleaning up the rust with colorful foods. Now for part 2 of the protocol. This involves a specific drink that acts like a key, unlocking your stored fat so it can finally be burned off. We are talking about green tea, but more specifically, the powerful compounds inside it called catechins, especially one called EGCG. Now this is really cool. EGCG does 2 amazing things. First, it helps unlock your fat cells so the fat inside can get out and be used for energy. And second, it acts like a bouncer at the door of your gut, literally blocking some of the fat you eat from ever being absorbed in the first place.
But, and this is a really crucial point, not all green tea is the same.
Those sugary bottled drinks you see at the gas station, that's basically just sugar water. To get a really powerful dose of these fat-blocking catechins, you want to choose matcha or sencha tea. With those, you're actually consuming the entire leaf, not just the steeped water, so the effect is way, way stronger.
So we've covered what to eat and what to drink. Now for part 3. And this might just be the most powerful piece of the entire protocol, a very specific rule for how you move.
Just look at that number for a second, 48%. That is a massive drop. So what does it mean?
That's the reduction in visceral fat they saw in a study where people exercised for just 45 minutes 2 times a week. That's it. But, and this is the big but, they did it at a very specific intensity level, 75% of their maximum effort. This just goes to show that how you exercise can be way more important than just that you exercise.
So how do you find this 75% magic zone without being hooked up to a machine in a lab? It's actually super simple. You use the talk test. If you can sing a song while you're exercising, you're going way too easy. If you can't even get a single word out, you're pushing too hard. That sweet spot, that magic 75% zone, is when you can still speak in full sentences, but you sound a little out of breath doing it. You can talk, but you'd kind of rather not. That is the zone that absolutely melts visceral fat.
Okay, so we've covered the why and the how. Let's put this all together into a super simple, clear action plan that you can literally start tomorrow.
Here it is, your 3-step plan. Number 1, the scavenger hunt. Just add 1 deeply colored vegetable to every single meal to fight that cellular rust. Number 2, the liquid key. Swap just 1 of your daily coffees for a clean, sugar-free matcha or sencha tea. And number 3, the 75% solution. Get your heart rate up for 45 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week, and use that talk test to make sure you're in the magic fat-burning zone.
And as you get started on this, please remember this one crucial piece of advice. The perfect workout is useless if you hate doing it. Find some kind of cardio you can actually stick with, whether it's walking fast on an incline, cycling, swimming, whatever. Consistency is what's going to get you the results in the long run. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that your body has this incredible ability to heal itself. Having visceral fat isn't a life sentence. By eating the right colors, drinking the right tea, and moving at the right pace, you are sending a powerful signal to your body to finally let go of this dangerous fat and reclaim your health. It's not about starving yourself, it's about sending the right signals.